Hey guys, I'm Alan and welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a lead guitar tutorial video over A Thousand Hallelujahs by Brooke Ligertwood. There'll be a tab available over on Patreon, so be sure to check down below in the description for a link to that. Then I also made a cover video of me playing this lead guitar part through the entire song, so if you want to hear that, need a little extra help, you can check that out. That's listed down below as well. So for the song, there are really like 3 electric guitar parts. They're all kind of layered together. So I just simplified it, or not necessarily simplified it, but I just kind of combined it to where you could play it all with one guitar. So I guess I made it harder. But anyway, so it's going to be in the key of D flat. Our tempo is 68 beats per minute, and the time signature is 4/4. So here's what the intro sounds like, just to run through it for you real quick. So let's talk about that for just a minute. I'm using the neck pickup, and then I'm going to be sliding from the 10th fret to the 12th fret. Now all these capo numbers are relative to that capo on the first fret, or the fret numbers, so just be sure you're aware of that. It makes it a little bit confusing here at the beginning. But yeah, we're going to slide from 10 to 12, and we'll hit the 14th fret. We'll do the same thing again. So far you have this. We're going to go back to the 12th fret for 2 beats, 3, 4. And then the second time's really similar. Then we'll just add a 12, 14 at the end. So it's like, let me just repeat it. 3 and 4 and. Let me do it again. Okay, that's all for the intro. On verse 1 and verse 2, we'll do pretty much the same thing, so I'm just going to run through that. There will be one part where we go up to the 15th fret that's a little different than what we did earlier. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go up. Okay, so that's all we'll do on the first verse. Then the second verse, we'll just do the exact same thing again. Chorus 1 is probably the easiest part of the song because we don't really play anything for most of it. But at the very end, we have a 2/4 measure that we're going to come in with this little fill. It sounds like this. And you might watch that cover video to kind of see where that comes in at. But we're starting out on the 5th fret of the D string. We'll play that 3 times, and then we'll hit the open G, then back to the 5th fret of the D, and then open G again. So it's like, and it comes in on the end of 1, so it's like 1 and a 2 E and a, and that's a 2/4 measure again. So just 2 beats, 1 and a 2 E and a. All right, that's enough about that part. That's all for chorus 1. Let's go over chorus 2. Also, real quick, if you guys are getting value out of this video, be sure to hit that like button for me. It just helps this video reach more people. So here's what the second chorus sounds like. And I'm also going to switch to my middle pickup, and chorus 3 will be the same thing as this later on. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's spend a little bit of time going over that. We're going to start out with the 3rd fret of the D string with your ring finger, and then your first finger on the 1st fret of the B string. And we're playing like 8th notes. It's like 1 and 2, or 3, 0, 1. Then we'll hit the open G again. So it's like 1 and 2 E and da. So a quick 16th note there at the end. Then we'll drop down to the 2nd fret of the D string, and then keep the first finger where it is, and do 3 and 4 E and da. So you put that measure together, you have 1 and 2 E and 3 and 4 E and Then we'll go to all open strings, D, G, and B, 1 and 2 E and And then we'll hit the 2nd fret of the D string. We have 3 and 4 and So it sounds like a little bit faster. And we're going to repeat this part of the riff twice, so it's like 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and repeat. Okay, then the next part starts out the same way with 3, 0, 1. And we'll go to all open strings. And then it's kind of similar to what we did earlier. We're just going to add one little hammer on. So let's go over that part real quick in case you need help. So it was starting off on the 2nd fret of the D string. You go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then you're back to the 3, 0, 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we'll hit all open strings. 1 and 2. All right, let's run through this part one more time. Feel free to play along here if you want to. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is all for chorus 2 and chorus 3. The riff on Interlude 1 is a little bit tricky, and I think it's actually 2 guitars that make this part kind of sound the way it does, so it's kind of hard to do by yourself. But just to run through it, we're going to start off on the 5th fret of the B string. So here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's kind of slow that down, go over what I'm doing. So we'll start off on the 5th fret of the B string. We'll pick the B string, open G, open E, back to the open G. And that's kind of like the basis of the picking pattern, B, G, E, G. And we repeat the same thing again. Then on beat 4, we hit the 3rd fret of the B string, then open G, and then 5, open G. So let's hit that first measure together real quick. All right, ready, go. Then after that, we'll go to the 6th fret of the B string, and on this part, we're just going to alternate back and forth between the B string and the G string for this entire measure. So this is like 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. So that walk down, we'll go 6, 5, 3, 1. Let's hit that measure again. Ready, go. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. And then we're back to just like we started, back on the 5th fret. All right, why don't we run through this Interlude one more time together. Feel free to play along here. Okay, 1, 2, ready, go. Also, I experimented kind of trying this with different fingers. To me, what ends up sounding the best is just using that first finger and kind of sliding it around. You could use more than one finger, but it gets a little bit tough to like keep the sound really smooth as you're moving from one fret to the next. So anyway, but you can experiment with that, see what works best for you. That's all for Interlude 1. Then also on Bridge 1, we're going to start off with the same riff, and we'll just play it 2 times through. On the second half of Bridge 1, I'm going to kick on some overdrive, just kind of a light overdrive. And we're going to play a really similar picking pattern, pretty much the same thing, just the fret numbers are going to change some. So I'll just run through this part. You guys can just feel free to play along with the tab on this as many times as you need to. Since it's similar, I don't think we'll go over it too much. All right, starting off on the 5th fret of the B string. 1, 2, 3, 4. So at the end of this, it gets a little bit tricky because we change time signatures for a minute. So right there on that one measure of 2/4, let's start right there real quick. So this would be like 1 E and a 2 E and a, and then from there we start over. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. I guess you could count it like that, or you could count it like a 6/4 measure. I guess just whichever way works for you. Let's hit that one more time from the 2/4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and. We'll just end on that open E, because then we're going to jump like back into the chorus again right after that. Okay, that is all for bridge 1. On interlude 2, we'll play some octaves and just kind of slide around. So let's start the like pickup measure leading right into interlude 2. Here's what it sounds like. Okay, so let's go over how to do that. So you'll start off at the end of that, what is that, the end of chorus 3, where you're just hitting the open D, G, and B. And we'll play octaves on the 2nd fret of the D string and the 5th fret of the B. We'll just strum this twice. And we'll go up to 10 and 13. And then from here, we're just kind of strumming 16th notes, like one measure each. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. We'll go up to 12 and 15. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Go up one more time to 14 and 17. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Go up one more fret. 1 E and a, then slide down. 2 E and a 3 E and a, and down 2 frets to 12 and 15. 4 E and a. So why don't we hit this one more time? Feel free to play along here. All right, 1, 2. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And that's all for interlude 2. Then we'll hit bridge 2, and it's really similar to what we were just doing, how we're playing those high octaves. So here's what bridge 2 sounds like. We're going to start off on the 10th fret of the D string and the 13th fret of the B string. 1, 2, 3, 4. So most of that's pretty straightforward, I think. But let's jump to the measure where you have like the walk down, and then it's like a real quick shift. So on that part, you're starting on, was that 15? Yeah, so starting there, sorry, it gets kind of confusing with this capo on here. Starting here, let me try that. So we're ready, go. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. And then this last part, we're going to go. So that's 10 and 13. 9 and 12, just a real quick on the, like and a 4 and a 1. So that measure again is 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 1. All right, then we'll just keep strumming these octaves. The rest of it's pretty straightforward, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's talk about this measure for a minute. So we switch to 2/4, so it's like 1 E and a 2 E and up, and then we'll have a measure of 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then for the very last chord of the song, we're going to end on the 10th fret of the D string and 13th fret of the B string. Okay, I think that is all for bridge 2, and that pretty much wraps it up for this tutorial, because that's the last little bit of the song. On that last chorus, we'll just play that last chord that we just did and just let it ring out till the end of the song. Well, guys, I hope this helps you out with this song. Hope it helps you learn it. Don't forget that tab's available over on Patreon, link down in the description. Huge thanks to the patrons also. You guys help a lot with keeping all this going and, yeah, supporting the channel. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Also, if you want to know what I'm doing outside of teaching lessons, I do have a vlogging channel called Tools and Tech. There's a link to that down in the description. You guys can check that out too. We have 230-something subscribers on there, trying to hit 1,000 by the end of 2022. So let's see if we can get there if you're interested in that kind of thing. If you watch all the way to the end of this video, I'm going to assume you're semi-interested, maybe. All right, well, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.